This is the video step-up lesson for step-up lesson number 19. We're talking about equivalent fractions and decimals. How can you use equivalent fractions to change fractions into decimals? That's the focus of today's lesson. We are going to write 8/32 as a decimal. The first step is to write the fraction 8/32 in its simplest form. I know that 8 is a factor of 32. So if I divide the top number by 8 and the bottom number by 8, I'll get 1/4. And 1/4 will be 8/32 in its simplest form. We are continuing with writing 8/32 as a decimal. We've put 8/32 into its simplest form, which is 1/4. Now we want to find an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 100. I'm selecting 100 for this particular problem. However, sometimes it'll be easy to use 10 as the denominator or 1,000. So when you're doing this, think about using a denominator of 10, 100, or 1,000. I know that if I multiply 4 by 25, I will reach 100. We talked about finding equivalent fractions. Whatever we do to the bottom number, we must do to the top number. So if I multiply the bottom number by 25, I must multiply the top number by 25. 1 times 25 is 25. So my equivalent fraction for 8/32 is 25 hundredths. Let's review our steps. We're going to write 8/32 as a decimal. Write 8/32 in its simplest form, it becomes 1/4. Find an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 10 or 100. We already decided that that would be 25 hundredths. Remember, sometimes the denominator can be 1,000. Write the fraction as a decimal. 25 hundredths. In word form, we say 25 hundredths. So to write it as a decimal, we write 0.25. To write 8/32 as a decimal, we write 8/32 equal 0.25. Let's try another problem. Write 2/5 as a decimal. First, we have to put it into simplest forms. We need to find a common factor that we can divide them both by. In this case, they both only have 1 and themselves as factors. So, 2/5 is already in its simplest form. Now we have to find an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 10 or 100. Remember, sometimes it could be 1,000. I'm going to take my 2/5 and say, how can I either get this 5 to become a 10 or a 100 or a 1,000? I know I can make it a 10 by multiplying it by 2. So I'm going to multiply the bottom number by 2. Whoops. And that'll give me my 10. Whatever I do to the bottom number, I have to do the top number. That gives me 4. Write the fraction as a decimal. 4/10 equals 0.4. Your homework tonight is to write these fractions as decimals and bring the paper in tomorrow. I'm giving you a little bit of help. 3/5, I'm telling you that your denominator should be 10. 9/20, I'm telling you that your denominator should be 100. For number 3, 6/12, I'm giving you no help. And 9/200 rather, let's see how well you were listening. 9/200. That's your homework for tonight. See you in the morning.